Welcome to Win the Day with Coach Jacqui. You know what? We're here every week just to speak a word of encouragement into your life, to go for the John 10:10 life that Jesus came for us to have, to continue to grow in the maturation process of being transformed by the renewing of our minds. And today we're going to be talking about leading in life with a winning vision. Want to give a shout out to my big brother David. Thank you so much for being one of my biggest fans, his little sister. I love you. And I also want to remind you all that registration is open for Winning with Purpose, Vision, and Goals Masterclass. It is free, but registration is required, and I'll put the link in the comments. It's about taking a closer look at the goal achieving process, right? Because sometimes some people don't know what their purpose is, or they're not really clear. But some people, you got the purpose, you got the vision, you got the goal, and you still stuck. And let me tell you, stuck stinks. And how do I know? Because I've been there. And so we're going to explore that a little bit. We also have the 7-day Get It Done challenge this week, and I hope that you'll join me. I'll tell you a little bit about that towards the end of our session today. So, all right, are you ready? Get growing. I want to talk about leading in life with a winning vision. Listen, with everything that's going on in the world today, not just even in our country, but in the world today, you know what? Life is still going on. We have to continue to support our families, right? And believe it or not, we are still responsible to fulfill our God-given purpose and potential, because we don't want to be like that trifling servant who said, see what had happened was this pandemic came, and all this stuff jumped out. And so I cannot give you a return on what you entrusted to me. So we don't want to be that person. So we're talking about leading in life with a winning vision. And our inspiration today is coming from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. And I'm going to read it from the Message translation. It says it this way: God can do anything, far more than you could ever imagine or guess or request in your wildest dreams. And he does it not by pushing us around, but by working within us, his spirit deeply and gently within us. And the Amplified Classic states it this way: now to him who, by in consequence of the action of his power that is at work within us, is able to carry out his purpose and do superabundantly, far over and above all that we dare ask or think, infinitely beyond our highest prayers, desires, thoughts, hopes, or dreams. So based on our focus scripture, here's what I want to build on today. God is able to carry out his purpose through us, in us, and for us, based on his power that is at work within us. And I love what Dr. Miles Monroe said. He said that God has tied the revelation of his potential to our dreams, aspirations, and prayers, which falls in line with Philippians 2:13. For it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. The Living Bible translates it this way: for God is at work within you, helping you even want to obey him, and then helping you do what he wants. So listen, it's really God's purpose being expressed through the vision he has given you for your life, that he's given the vision for my life. And so we need to be really clear on what that means for us. And I'm not sure if I shared this here, but if you've been trekking with me for any time, you know that God needs us as his expression in every sphere of influence in our everyday lives. And no matter how small the act, when we put the whole of our life into it, it won't be forgotten, and the Father will be glorified. And as we do it for the glory of God. Remember, we want to feel his pleasure as we fulfill our purpose. Remember when Jesus was baptized, God said, "Thou art my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." So as we're fulfilling God's purpose for our lives, we are to imitate him. In fulfilling vision, we must begin with the end in mind, just like God. When he started the plan of salvation, it was already finished. Come on. In this same chapter, Paul shares that his life work and assignment was to reveal God's master plan of salvation, the plan of God to save us, to redeem the whole world through Christ. That's Ephesians. We're still in Ephesians. That was God's plan. Paul's purpose was to reveal it. Paul knew what he was called to do. And Dr. Monroe said that vision sets you free from the limitations of what the eyes can see and allows you to enter into the liberty of what the heart can feel. It's vision that makes the unseen visible and the unknown possible. Vision, check this out, also makes suffering and disappointment bearable. It generates hope in the midst of despair and provides endurance in tribulation. Vision can inspire the depressed and motivate the discouraged. Remember how Paul was encouraging the Ephesians to not be afraid or upset or down by his trials, the things that he was going through? Because here's what he said. He said that he was seeing the plan of God and the purposes of God revealed. So as you're pursuing and fulfilling the vision God has called you to, first of all, you got to know that it's God. And God is very clear about his vision. And most times he'll show you the end first because that's how he works. Right? Jesus' part and purpose was already finished and written in the book before he ever showed up on the planet. Come on, somebody. Are you hearing me? So I want to share with you 4 things to help you increase your faith for your 2020 vision. Listen, it is not over yet. There are 6 months and God can do exceeding abundantly above all, but we got to stay in faith and you got to have a winning vision. And I'm picking this up from out of Dr. Miles Monroe's book, The Principles and Power of Vision. If you don't have that in your library, make sure that you get it. So number 1, know your purpose. God was very clear. Jesus was clear on the vision, purposes, and plan of God. He knew why he came. For the Son of Man has come to save that which was lost, Matthew 18:11. God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved, John 3:17. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil, 1 John 3:8. Jesus said, I have come that they might have life and that more abundantly, John 10:10. So know your purpose, because purpose is the source of your vision. You got to know your why. Number 2, write the vision. When you know your purpose, it serves as the source of your vision. Purpose is knowing God's intention for you being here on the planet, the reason why you were born. Vision is when you can see it in your mind's eye by faith and you start imagining it. And per Dr. Monroe, when you're able to see your purpose, then your vision comes to life. Hebrews tells us, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God. It was already written. The Messiah would be born of a virgin. Come on, somebody. Do you see where we're going? And Revelations tells us that Christ was the lamb slain when? From the foundation of the world. And as Dr. Monroe says, he was already dead, y'all. He was already dead. The vision was already finished. So make sure the purpose is clear and the vision is written. Write the vision. Come on, I'm going to need somebody to talk back to me. Number 3, have faith for the provision. God provides for his vision. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he said, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body. Come on, somebody. But a body hast thou prepared me. God provided a body for him. So God provides for his vision. Hebrews 10:7. God provided food for the multitude. He provided transportation when he sent the disciples to obtain the donkey for his triumphant entry. He provided tax money from the fish's mouth. God provides for his vision. So you got to have faith for provision. And number 4, execute the plan, all of it. Part 1, you want to execute the plan in the field, according to Luke 4:18-19. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Execute in the field, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. Part 2, execute in the garden, which is your choices. In John 12:27, Jesus said, now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour, but for this cause came I unto this hour. So you got to win in the choice zone. He was able to stand because he knew where he was going. He knew his purpose. He knew the plan, and he had the winning vision of God. So he was able to win in the choice zone. So he would not ask God to save me from this hour because he knew this was the cause that he came to this hour. Part 3, execute in victory. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him, it was already finished, he endured the cross, despising the shame, meaning he thought little of it, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Hebrews 12:2. Now this is a must read from the Message translation. Check this out. Do you see what this means? All these pioneers who blazed the way, all these veterans cheering us on. It means that we better get on with it. Strip down, start running, never quit. No extra spiritual fat, no parasitic sins. Keep your eyes on Jesus, who both began and finished this race that we're in. Study how he did it, because he never lost sight of where he was headed. That exhilarating finish in and with God. So because of that, he could put up with anything along the way, the cross, the shame, whatever. And now he's there in the place of honor, right alongside God. So when you find yourself flagging in your faith, I want you to go over that story again, item by item, that long litany of hostility he plowed through. And says that'll shoot some adrenaline into your soul. So in closing, know your why. Write the vision. Believe God for the provision. Then execute the plan. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. What are you working on or towards? Where are you stuck? Join me for the free Purpose Vision Goals Masterclass. I want to help you accelerate the goal achievement process in your life. Registration is open. Again, it's free, but you have to register. I'm going to put the link in the comments, or you can check my events, but I am going to make sure I put it here in the comments. Registration is also open for the 7-day Get It Done Challenge. It's where we walk with you through starting something, picking up something, or finishing that one thing that you have been going to get around to. And I'll put the link in the comments as well. Come on, let's get it done with a winning vision. Join me. I want you to know that you have more and the world is waiting for you. I want you to have a winning week, and I will see you next time on Win the Day with Coach Jacqui. Blessings, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.